reaction of Big X the Plug finding out his homie was the one.
And he got a homie named Z the Wizard. Apparently, Z the Wizard got shot in the head last night. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know. I think I read something that said they was like shooting at Big X and trying to kill Big X, and his homie was around. His homie busted.
New footage just hit the internet, and it's got everyone talking. After the whole Big X situation, the city's been tense. But this shook things up all over again. It all went down at the funeral of his close friend Z, and rumors started flying that some ops might pull up. And in Dallas, when word like that spreads, you already know it's about to get messy. Here's the breakdown of what really went down, what's confirmed, and why the city can't stop watching this story unfold. New Year's Eve in Dallas was supposed to be a movie. The Pink House Dallas had its grand opening. The energy was through the roof, and everyone came out fresh and ready to celebrate. Bottles were popping. The DJ had the crowd going wild, and BigXThaPlug was chilling in his section with his team. All smiles and good vibes. Right there beside him was Z the Wizard, fresh off his performance, hyped up, and ready to bring in 2026 in the biggest way. Z had just wrapped his set and was showing love to the fans, throwing cash and making it rain like a real one. The whole room was lit. Nobody in that building had a clue that the night was about to take a dark turn. And fast!
If it was targeted, I don't know if they was shooting at Big X. I don't know if he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't know if they was shooting in his direction on purpose. I don't know, bro.
Then came January 1st, 2026. Around 3:45 in the morning, the vibe flipped instantly. Shots started ringing out in the parking lot of Pink House Dallas, right in the middle of its grand opening. Out of nowhere, the night that started with pure celebration turned into total chaos. When the noise stopped, the scene was heartbreaking. 4 people were down. One of them was Z the Wizard, the 25-year-old Dallas rapper everyone believed was next up. He'd been hit in the head, a moment nobody was ready for. BigXThaPlug was still inside the venue when it all happened. Just moments before, he and Z were turning up, celebrating the night, completely unaware that everything was about to change. Then the footage hit the internet, and it went absolutely viral. In the clip that spread everywhere, you can hear Big X's voice, full of shock and disbelief, realizing what just happened to his boy. He reportedly said, "They shot Z in the head. What the F?" The pain in his tone said it all. Security was trying to move him out, but you could tell he was frozen in that moment, trying to understand how everything fell apart in seconds. The clip exploded on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Within hours, everyone was sharing it. The algorithm caught it, and it was on every feed, every timeline, every reaction page. Within days, it crossed over 100,000 views from all the reposts and breakdowns. The comment sections were filled with nothing but heartbreak. People dropping prayers, condolences, and messages of disbelief. That kind of raw, unfiltered emotion hit hard because it's rare to see an artist's reaction like that. Real time, finding out his brother just got hit. Blogs went wild with unconfirmed reports, and social media turned into a frenzy. Some pages were already posting farewell messages before Z's own family even had time to take a breath. A few outlets, desperate for clicks, jumped the gun and announced things that weren't even verified. That confusion only made the clip spread faster than ever. People all over were sharing the footage, trying to figure out if Z was okay or not. Some called out the blogs for posting fake updates just to chase engagement, while others were simply praying for something positive to come through. Everyone was glued to their phones, refreshing nonstop for any kind of official news. Then, on January 5th, 2026, the word finally came. Z the Wizard had tragically lost his fight to recover after several days in the hospital.
He seems like a clean-cut, get-money hustler.
Yeah.
And, you know, they out of Dallas, Texas. And from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of people out of that area are like that. They're hustlers. They get into the bag. They ain't necessarily worried about the BS, the drama.
His family stayed close by his side, keeping things private and peaceful during one of the hardest moments of their lives. The news hit the hip-hop community hard. Everyone felt that loss. The details around what happened that night are still unclear, and Dallas police haven't made any arrests yet. Witnesses say it all started with some tension inside the club that spilled out into the parking lot. According to reports, things might have gotten heated after Z the Wizard was tossing money during his performance and accidentally hit a few people who took it the wrong way. Some breakdown videos online claim that those same people approached Z's crew later near the bathrooms, but security quickly stepped in and escorted the other group out. Even though the club tried to calm things down, the tension didn't completely fade. From what's been pieced together, things might have carried over outside. Some reports even suggest that during the chaos, confusion broke out between both groups, and there may have been a misunderstanding among people on the same side. Certain analysis videos claim that one person in the crowd started moving unpredictably, possibly causing harm to their own team. But none of that's confirmed, so it's all speculation for now. What's real, though, is that Z the Wizard was only 25, young, talented, and full of potential. Big X, the plug, lost one of his closest friends, and that viral video of his reaction showed pain that words can't describe. You could tell it was genuine. No acting, no fronting, just real emotion. After everything went down, Pink House Dallas started catching major backlash. Reports say the venue was running its grand opening as an after-hours spot, and people online began calling them out for having weak security that night. Some claimed the bag checks weren't solid enough, which might have allowed unsafe items to slip inside. And that's where the criticism got loud. What really made people upset, though, was that just hours after the tragedy, the club's Instagram was still posting about how much money they made that night. Fans and locals thought that was straight up insensitive, especially when someone was still in the hospital fighting for their life. The whole situation sparked a bigger conversation about how risky nightlife events can get, especially on huge nights like New Year's Eve when the whole city's outside trying to party. To make things even more intense, Dallas police said they received over 700 calls that night about random fireworks and reckless celebrating. The city was already hot, and Pink House Dallas just happened to be one of the spots where everything boiled over. This wasn't just another name trending online. This was a rising star whose journey was only getting started when everything suddenly stopped. Z the Wizard.
How'd you end up getting into a argument or a disagreement with Big X? How'd that come about?
Man, how the fuck did it come about? Manager was robbed. Just some more shit happened with that situation. Cause somebody had stole from me, so a lot of shit behind that. We squashed that shit. That shit ain't nothing though.
You did squash it. How'd that come about?
That's what I'm saying. Some situation had happened. We got over it though. That shit wasn't nothing.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. A lot of times it feels like rappers start beefing and there's like no way out. Like they just got to keep going at it.
And when I got real smoke, you know what I'm saying? Just put it like that.
Real name Cannon Grant Fields was a 25-year-old artist repping Oak Cliff and DeSoto, Texas, two areas known for talent, heart, and hustle. His life story was all about turning struggle into strength, staying focused when life switched directions on him. Raised mainly by his mom, Lash Shannon Grant, the woman he proudly called his third heartbeat, Z carried that deep love and respect everywhere he went. That bond helped shape the man he grew into. Everyone who crossed paths with him said the same thing. He was humble, real, and always showed genuine love to the people around him. Before music, Z was all about sports. Football was his first passion, and he hit the field with the same intensity that would later fuel his time in the booth. But after a serious injury shut down his athletic goals, Z refused to give up. He just changed lanes. He took all that energy, discipline, and drive and poured it into music instead. Once he picked up the mic, he never looked back. By 2023, he started locking in and building his craft, adopting the name Z the Wizard, a name that fit perfectly with his ability to move through life's challenges with creativity, focus, and finesse. Coaches and teachers from his past remembered him as a sharp-minded young man with a serious drive to lift his family and rewrite his story. His progress was fast and steady. After focusing on his sound, he dropped his first project, Wiz, Who Is Z, in 2024, a raw and honest tape that introduced fans to his world. That same year, he teamed up with Young Don for Wiz and Don, a collaboration that proved he could hold his own alongside other talented artists. Then came April 2025, the year he really started making noise. He dropped Words of Wisdom, an album packed with growth, storytelling, and emotion. The project connected deeply with listeners who wanted more than just catchy hooks. They wanted something real. His biggest records like Boston and Gay pulled in over 125,000 streams on Spotify. His track Anti-Cap Music hit around 40,000 streams, while Chevy became a local anthem across Dallas. With around 25,000 monthly listeners, Z was carving out a solid lane for himself in the southern trap and street rap scene. His songs focused on ambition, self-improvement, loyalty, and navigating everyday life, all delivered through a style that mixed raw emotion with smooth melodies. By August 2025, Z the Wizard's grind finally caught the industry's attention. He signed with Future's Free Band's Gang label, a major move that set him up for national recognition. Even big names like Meek Mill showed love, giving him props for being real and working hard. Soon after, the Dallas Observer listed him as one of the top 25 DFW rappers of 2025, solid proof that the city was paying attention to his rise. Everything pointed to 2026 being his breakout year, his moment to shine brighter than ever. But before he could reach that next level, tragedy struck, leaving fans and peers heartbroken. Still, his story continues to inspire because his journey was never just about fame, it was about community and unity. The Dallas scene had already been through heartbreak before. Losing talented artists like Mo3 back in 2020 left a cloud that still hangs over the city. Everyone grinding to make it out through music could feel that weight. That reminder of how fragile success can be. BigXThaPlug didn't just show love to Z the Wizard from afar, he really invested in him. He took him on the road, brought him to bigger stages, and made sure people outside the city saw his potential. Big X gave Z the kind of spotlight that changes everything, performing side by side, dropping cosigns in interviews, and making sure people knew this young artist was next up. Their bond ran deep, more like an older brother mentoring a younger one with a whole lot of promise. And in Dallas, when Big X vouches for someone, that means something. That's respect stamped by the streets and the culture. Beyond the music, Z the Wizard was a proud father, leaving behind two little ones who will grow up hearing stories about how much he loved them and how hard he worked to give them a better life. He wasn't just a rapper chasing streams. He was active in his neighborhood, always giving back. In fact, just days before everything happened, Z had organized a toy drive for local kids. No cameras, no flexing, just pure love from the heart. His friends said that's exactly who he was, a man with what they called a heart of gold. When the news spread, tributes started pouring in from everywhere. Artists like G Herbo, who had just filmed a collab video with Z, spoke on how genuine he was. His day ones, people like Head Huncho, Amir, and Zillionaire Do, shared throwback clips, photos, and memories on social media, calling him one of them ones and promising to keep his name alive. Collaborator Timothy Chung also shared a heartfelt message, showing how deeply Z's energy touched those around him. On January 11th, 2026, the community came together for a candlelight vigil at the Inspiring Body of Christ Church in Dallas.
Was able as men to come together and call and FaceTime and say, hey man, to have that conversation is big. Because a lot of times these people, young folks especially, who ain't been through nothing, egos can be your worst amigos. So we'll get caught up in sticking our chests out. I done did it before. Man, I don't got that. You know what he did to me. You get so mad and so frustrated before you even understand. Without understanding, things can go.
Around 100 people showed up to honor Z's life, all rocking blue in his memory. The vibe was emotional but full of love. His mother, Lash Shannon Grant, stood strong as she spoke to the crowd, sharing her pain, her pride, and her gratitude for everyone who came to celebrate her son's journey. The pastor at the service spoke on the heartbreak and confusion that comes when the community loses someone so full of promise. The crowd joined in, chanting, "This life matters," a message that hit deep across the room. Police were present, still continuing their investigation into what really went down that night. But thankfully, the vigil remained calm and respectful. No chaos, no drama, just peace and remembrance. Even though the title of this video mentions opposite funeral, there's no verified footage or reports showing any kind of tension or rival appearances at the service. Everything stayed focused on honoring Z's memory, a young king who inspired his people and left a mark that won't fade anytime soon. This heartbreaking moment shined a light on something real, how unpredictable things can get in the Dallas hip-hop scene. Based on what's known, this wasn't tied to any ongoing rivalry or beef. It was supposed to be a night of celebration that spiraled into confusion, a misunderstanding over toss cash, some egos flaring up, and a situation that went way too far before anyone could calm it down. In the end, a talented artist, father, and son lost his chance to keep building the legacy he was clearly destined for. When you're winning as big as Big X, the plug has been, haters are guaranteed to show up, whether you ask for it or not. Big X, the plug, born Xavier Landam on May 12, 1998 in Dallas, Texas, has built one of the wildest success stories hip-hop's seen in years. His path from aspiring football player to chart-topping artist wasn't easy. It's been full of setbacks, comebacks, and straight-up determination. What makes fans ride for him so hard is how real he keeps it. No fake image, no gimmicks, just authenticity that people feel in every bar. His breakout moment came with tracks that proved he could deliver street-certified anthems without pretending. His hit Texas went double platinum, while went triple platinum and took over playlists everywhere. Then came The Largest, another massive record that had the South on lock. His momentum only grew as he started working with major names, from Post Malone and Offset to country stars like Luke Combs and Bailey Zimmerman. His collab, All the Way with Zimmerman, even topped the Hot Rap Songs chart. By 2025, major outlets were calling him Texas's hottest rapper, and it was hard to argue with that. But in hip-hop, the higher you rise, the more envy you attract. And Big X definitely started feeling that pressure. His biggest rivalries came out of the Southern rap circuit, where competition can turn tense fast. Some of it came from street circles, while other drama came from plain miscommunication. But understanding those moments helps explain why Big X's name always gets brought up when anything messy happens near his crew. A lot of that tension goes back to the Fort Worth streets, where both Big X and Lil CJ Casino built their names. The DFW area has a complicated mix of neighborhoods, movements, and crews, all trying to hold their spot. Lil CJ runs with Casino World, a collective repping Fort Worth hard and filled with family ties. Meanwhile, Big X started 600 ENT in 2023, his own independent label that signed artists like Roham and Young Hood. Since both movements were moving heavy in the same spaces, it was only a matter of time before friction popped up. Early in 2024, Lil CJ Casino claimed he was hit with a major setback. His car was broken into at DGB Studio in Houston, and several expensive items were taken, including designer gear, cash, and a hard drive with unreleased music. That hard drive allegedly had some of Big X's early material from when he was still building his sound. Big X's team moved fast to track the files down, but Lil CJ thought that was suspicious, wondering if the whole situation was some kind of setup. That's when Lil CJ dropped Boss Up, a diss track aimed directly at BigXThaPlug, throwing shade about the studio situation and trying to stir the pot. The track gave him attention, but it also made people question whether it was just for clout. Big X wasn't having it. He hopped on Instagram Live and cleared his name, showing love to the studio, flexing his touring success, and basically telling Lil CJ to focus on his bag and stop stressing old drama. By the middle of 2025, things started cooling off. In an interview that July, Lil CJ himself said the situation wasn't serious anymore, that it started from some confusion and back and forth that got handled behind the scenes. He confirmed they talked things out and moved past it. Both artists seemed to realize the whole thing was doing more for clicks than it was for either of their careers. And at the end of the day, there was no real problem left between them. But just as one situation died down, another one started bubbling. This new drama kicked off in January 2026, and it's got more to do with the business side of music than the streets. Memphis rapper Finesse 2 Times, who's got a big following of his own, came at BigXThaPlug publicly, saying Big X wouldn't clear a collaboration they had recorded together. According to Finesse 2 Times, his label, Mob Ties Records, told him that BigXThaPlug was the one personally blocking the release of their collab track. But instead of letting the internet keep spinning wild rumors, Big X handled it the grown man way, by picking up the phone and calling Finesse himself. Most artists in situations like that would have just gone back and forth online, but Big X chose real communication over social media drama. During their conversation, Big X told Finesse straight up that nobody ever reached out to him for clearance in the first place. He said the track was fire and that he would have cleared it right away if anyone had just asked. That flipped the narrative completely, putting the responsibility back on Finesse's label instead of Big X himself. Once the confusion was cleared up, Finesse publicly apologized to Big X, admitting he jumped to conclusions without checking the full story first. He even acknowledged that his label might have been playing around with the info, making it look worse than it really was. But just when it looked like everything was good, the situation flipped again. A few days later, Finesse took back his apology and accused BigXThaPlug of lying, reigniting the whole situation. He even went as far as to challenge Big X to a $500,000 boxing match, saying they should settle their differences in the ring. Fans couldn't help but laugh at the irony, especially since the two had already worked together on a 2024 track literally called Opps. Now, people are split on what's real and what's for attention. Is it real tension or just a publicity play to boost engagement? Nobody knows for sure, but either way, it had the internet locked in. Then came the Big Evo situation, another wild back and forth built on who owns the phrase the largest. Big Evo, an Alabama rapper, dropped an album titled The Largest back in November 2022. And that phrase became his signature. But when BigXThaPlug released his single of the same name in August 2024, Evo felt like his originality had been borrowed. Big Evo hit platforms like No Jumper to speak on it, saying Big X took inspiration from his style without showing love. The conversation quickly turned into a debate about credit, originality, and influence, topics that always spark heat in the rap game. BigXThaPlug denied all the accusations in interviews, saying critics were just random rappers hating on success. He made it clear that while he respected Evo and even acknowledged their past collaborations, he wasn't out here copying anybody's wave. He added that if it ever came to it, he'd handle things respectfully, but wasn't losing sleep over internet noise. This situation perfectly shows how territorial hip-hop can get over phrases, ad-libs, and signature lines. Just like past disputes over catchy taglines or signature sounds, the debate over who truly owns the largest is still floating around online. And while Evo did release his project almost 2 years earlier, ownership of a phrase in music isn't always that simple. It's often about who made it resonate with the masses. But through all the online speculation and fan debates, it's important to remember this. None of these tensions, not with Finesse 2 Times, not with Big Evo, and not with any other artist, are connected to what happened to Z the Wizard. Despite the internet's constant guessing, Dallas police haven't confirmed any link between Big X's industry drama and the tragic night that took Z's life. Reports mentioned that there may have been an arrest related to the case, but official details are still scarce. For now, everything beyond what's confirmed remains just talk. And talk without proof doesn't hold weight. Z the Wizard's story still hits hard. At just 25 years old, his career was climbing, his talent was undeniable, and his impact was real. He left behind his kids, his loved ones, and a community that continues to honor his name with love and pride. The footage of BigXThaPlug's reaction that night showed something raw, a side of pain and disbelief no artist should ever have to experience. The New Dallas movement continues to push forward, carrying the message of unity and growth that Z stood for. The music keeps flowing, the city keeps creating, but the memory of that night remains, a reminder of how fragile this journey can be, and how one rising star's light still shines on through the people who loved him most. Big X. The Plug found out in real time that his close friend had been hurt, a moment so real and emotional that it froze everyone who saw it. The investigation into what happened is still ongoing. Questions are still hanging in the air. And somewhere in Dallas, 2 kids are growing up without their father. The viral clip of Big X's reaction keeps circulating online, popping up in reaction videos, news reports, and endless reposts across social media. Every time a new viewer comes across it, they feel that same gut punch, watching an artist realize in real time that someone he loved is gone. The raw emotion doesn't fade even after all this time. People online have even compared the moment to other heartbreaking times in hip-hop history when rising stars were taken before they could fully shine. Dallas has seen this pain before. The loss of Mo, 3 in 2020, still echoes through the community. Now Z the Wizard's name sits beside those of other talented artists whose potential was cut short. For BigXThaPlug, this tragedy adds another heavyweight to the crown he's been building. Success in hip-hop can come with unseen costs, and this one hit close to home. He has to keep pushing his career forward, all while carrying the loss of someone who was supposed to rise with him side by side. The New Dallas movement, built on unity, peace, and growth, now faces a real test of strength. Can a movement focused on positivity keep its mission alive after losing one of its brightest voices? The answer will come through their next moves, through how the artists who remain continue to uplift the vision Z believed in. His dream deserves to live on through them. The footage that started all this attention stands as a chilling reminder of how quickly life can flip. One moment you're performing for your fans, turning up with your crew, and living the dream you've worked years to build. And in the next, that same dream becomes a nightmare. The sound of Big X's shocked voice echoing across the internet will always hit hard because it's pure emotion. No filter, no act, just pain caught on camera. Despite the rumors that floated around online, there's been no confirmed sign of any rivals or drama at Z the Wizard's vigil. The viral footage doesn't show conflict. It shows something far deeper. The exact moment when a rising star's story changed forever, captured for the entire world to see. That clip will outlast the rumors, the theories, and the headlines. It's more than viral content. It's a piece of history that captures the real human cost behind all the fame and music. In an industry that's already seen too many moments like this, Z the Wizard's legacy stands as a reminder of what's truly at stake. His energy, his vision, and his message live on through his music and through the artists he inspired. Long live Z the Wizard, the man, the artist, the movement. The wizard may be gone, but his sound and spirit keep pushing forward, keeping his name alive through every beat that drops. And that wraps up today's video. If you felt this story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Drop your thoughts below. What do you think about how the Dallas scene moves forward after this? And if you want to see more deep dives into stories like this one, click on the cards on your screen. See you in the next video!